Hello, welcome to the program Woman to Woman. I'm adorable Adesuwa Osa-Owage. Today on Woman to Woman, we want to talk to the women again. That's what we seem to be doing all the time on this program. Of course, as Woman to Woman, we do everything woman. So today we want to look at being financially independent. How do you become financially independent as a woman? Must you continue to depend on a man? Sometimes being dependent is a burden on its own on the woman and even on the man. Most married women you see these days are hustling. Some don't want to do anything. Maybe because their husband says, no, you cannot work, go stay at home, take care of the children, do this, do that, do that. But when the chips are down, you will realize that as a woman, you need to earn a living, no matter how small. You need to do something. What about those who are doing something? What's your saving culture? Do you just get your pay or get your profits and then you squander it or you spend it, you just use it, you don't have a savings, no backup, you're just always broke. You know what I mean? So these are many more we're going to be looking at on the program Woman to Woman. So join me as I make welcome Mrs. Faith Obasoye. She's a legal practitioner. Hi.
Good afternoon, viewers.
Black Beauty.
Thank you.
It's nice to have you on the show.
Thank you.
All right.
My pleasure.
It's Woman to Woman, and we're looking at how a woman can be financially independent, judging from the fact that, let's say, in the ratio to like, let's say 100%, let's say like 50% of women are still very much dependent on their husbands or on the men in their lives or on their parents. So let's see how we can help a woman to be financially independent. What does it really mean first to be financially independent?
Firstly, to be financially independent as a woman is your ability as a woman to earn your own living, to earn your own money. And being financially independent as a woman makes you to be capable of taking your own decision, to have your own independent mindset. You don't have to depend on anybody. And more so, it also earns you respect, both in your family line, outside, and among your peers.
Okay. That's quite interesting, the respect part, you know, when you earn a living, when you, no matter how small.
Yeah.
Okay, earning a living, does it have to be restricted to like white-collar jobs?
No. You made mention of 50% of women today, they are dependent on their husband. I believe, in my own perspective, I believe that a dependent woman has to do with mindset.
Okay.
Firstly, some women, naturally, they don't want to work. And let's look at the foundation, for example. Some women today, they go into marriage because of how wealthy is the man, what the man have in his bank account. Why some also, the other aspect of it, there are some men, especially the traditional men in quotes, they restrict their women from working. One, as a result of jealousy, they don't want another man to admire their wives. Then other, they also, especially the men that have pride, they feel that when their wives start earning money, the woman will no longer be submissive. So these are the two major reasons why some men don't want their wife to work. While in the other aspect of it, the one I talked about, some women, they are naturally dependent. In fact, they will marry the man because the man has money, not because they love the man or anything.
They marry a man to rest their case on the man.
Even to the extent you see the man sending money to the mother-in-law in the village, father-in-law, every burden of the woman, everything, the responsibility is on the man, and which is very wrong.
Okay. Some women marry men to rest their case on that man. You have just heard from Faith that it shouldn't be like that. You should learn to earn a living. So how do we propel that woman who is solely dependent on her husband, or that woman who does not want to do anything, she does not want to touch anything at all? Okay, let her just wake up in the morning and say, oh, yeah, bring, I want to do this, bring. How do we propel that woman to like get something to do?
Firstly, I think the woman needs to work on her mindset. She needs to wake up and see the situation of life, that a man cannot do everything, especially with this our economic inflation of everything. So she has to wake up. She has to wake up as a mother that her husband cannot do everything. And by so doing, she has to work on her mindset, his mindset. So I've had some cases of women. Look, I always tell people, it's not about going to school. If you can't go to school, there are other things you can do. Yeah. You can manage a trade. That's what you see most women, especially our mothers. That was what they did. I see a situation whereby you see some women, even if you open a trade for them, just give them 1 month, everything has gone down the drain. They don't know how to manage. They are so impulsive in spending. They want to buy everything. And some, before you know it, they will eat everything up in their shops. So I think that in such a case, the woman needs to work on her mindset. She needs to wake up.
Does such a woman needs to see a shrink, like a psychiatrist, because it's becoming too much. You know, when you say, I've seen a couple of women where when their husbands will open businesses for them, and before you know what is happening, that business is down.
Everything is gone.
And you will not get the money. There's no profit. There is absolutely nothing. Everything is gone down the drain. Even some that will go to the extent of borrowing money from, you know, maybe others banks, others microfinance homes and all that I've seen. And that has really led to a lot of divorce.
Yes.
And the man will say, no, I can't take it this anymore. Please, just pack your things and waka. Not just go, pack your things and waka, you know. Such a woman, don't you think she needs psychological help? Or is that just her life? Because that is rubbing off on some women. Is it, what can the woman do anyway? But some women are really, really there when it comes to making money for themselves. So how do we get that woman to like brace up? We can't leave that woman like that.
Yes, like I said before, I agree to you to some extent that they need psychological help. I still maintain that is mindset. And this is where church comes in. I noticed that our churches today, they are not doing enough when it comes to counseling. I support a situation whereby you have 3 years, 1 year, as the case may be, of courtship and counseling from the church before two partners go into marriage, because these are where the mistakes are coming from. Yes, because there are some people, for example, take some ladies, for example, in their home where they came from, this individual background now, you see a woman that don't do anything, she'll be wearing a weave-on of 120,000 and she doesn't do anything, she doesn't work, carrying a phone worth almost 200,000. So that's the culture that's been imbibed in them, in their individual homes, and that culture now will actually be part of them even when they are married. They can, you know. And again, also
is not there.
Yes, and I also noticed that some women are just into competition unnecessarily, even while they are even with those that work. Their salary is not up to the standard of life they want to live. They'll be forcing themselves to live it. That's why you see,
and then they go into debt.
They go into debt. So it's still as good as the woman is not doing anything, because a woman who is financially independent and doesn't know how to manage her finance is as good as nothing.
Okay, there is this woman that met me somewhere in the markets. Somewhere, only her market or so. And then she was like, Auntie Ade, you need to talk about this on Woman to Woman. I said, Madam, what is it? She showed me her face. She was battered, bruised. And I said, what did you do? She said, well, she's a graduate. She used to have a job. Then after marriage, you know, she lost the job. You know, some establishments don't like married women. And some establishments don't like you or like to employ you when you have children. You know, and so she was like, okay, she lost the job, she got married, she was managing with the husband somewhere in his shop, and she said the place is so remote, they hardly have sales. At least if they are lucky, they could make a sale of like 500 naira a day, and then sometimes they don't make anything at all. And then she told the husband that she needs to do something. She wants to be a food vendor. She wants to sell food. The man said he doesn't have money for shops and all that. He said, you don't need to get me a shop. All I need is a stand somewhere in the market. And then luckily for her, she got a place in the market. I think near Lagos Road somewhere, or Lagos Street. Yeah, she got a stand there to sell food. She got her wheelbarrow and everything, and she said she was really doing good. Like in a day, she could make between 10 and 16,000 naira as profit, which I think is good. And then she was doing that. She would come home and then display the money to the husband. It was not as if she was hiding anything. Ah, sweetie, this is what I made today. But somehow, the husband started getting jealous. Like you said, oh, this woman is now financially independent. One day she will challenge me in this house, you know. And then when she's coming home, she buys things in the market, things that we need at home, you know, little provisions and all that. And the man didn't like that. It was like she was usurping his authority as the head of the house. And so one day after cooking, the man said, if you can't join me in my shop, then you cannot do any of that thing. And the man said, I'm making money, I'm doing good. And the man said, no, this is what I want you to do. You can't sell food anymore. And that was what resulted into a fight. And she said, look, I want to sell food. And they got into a fight and she was beaten and battered. That's a woman willing to do something. And the man is saying, no, you can't. So I don't understand. Is it right for a man to be jealous of his wife because the wife is making money or more money?
His mentality. Like, if you see, look, in our society today, we have different men. In this kind, you will still see a situation whereby some men, they want their wife to work. As a matter of fact, they're even angry that the woman is not doing anything. And here we are, for a man now beating the wife, that's why she working. So I think I still maintain my position. The church have a lot of work to do in this regard. They need to be counseling young people who are coming into marriage.
You know, for that of church, if you go to a church, there are so many churches everywhere now. You know, proliferation of church everywhere. If I come to your church, I want to get married, and you say no, I can take my partner to another church. You know, it doesn't cost anything now. Just with a few
the reason why
people will get married.
Of course.
So I think
then
it should be a family thing.
Yes,
first.
again, aside the family thing, the people coming into marriage now, they have to have understanding.
Like a prenuptial marriage thing.
Yes, they have to be communication. For example, there are some men, I mean, if a man is asking your hand in marriage, you have to see the man down. The man have to tell you his do and don't. Tell the man, this is what you want to do. Let it be an agreement. This is what I want to do, or you have to like what I have to do. Then the man have to like what you are doing. Because when the man does not like your career, that marriage, it will just be problem upon problem upon problem. The man have to like what you do, and you have to like what the man do. That's the only way they can complement each other, and that's when they will have peace in their marriage. Aside that, problem like this will always arise. Probably maybe this woman in question, maybe she was not doing anything as at the time she got married. Maybe all of a sudden she just woke up one day and she was working somewhere. And she wants to do something. The man is not seeing it as disrespect and all of that. So
it's disheartening to believe that there are some men out there who still feel that the wife should not earn a living. More so when the wife earns more than they
always see it as a challenge.
I should think that marriage is a partnership. Marriage between two people is like to complement each other. There are some homes where the women are the breadwinner. And the men are not complaining. They are not talking. And the women are doing well. I know of a woman who started a business. When the husband lost his job, he joined her in the business. And together they built something very big. That's the kind of union we're looking for. That's the kind of relationship that should exist between a husband and a wife. Not when the man is earning, he doesn't want the woman to earn. Now let's look at the implication of a woman not earning a living. Now, a man dies and the woman is left alone with the children. You are not working. You are not doing anything. The next of kin is either the man's brother or his mother or the sister or maybe his child. What does that woman do? What is the woman supposed to do?
In fact, if you ask me, I would say it's a pathetic situation. The only thing that will save that woman, that's if she has a good family that will be able to pick her up and she'll start from there. It's a very pathetic situation because these days is advisable all around, no matter how, for a woman to be doing something, because you cannot solely depend on a man for everything. So it's a pathetic situation. I really don't know what the woman will do, especially when the man die intestate. So, and maybe the family in this scenario, they are not even cooperative. They don't even like the woman have an issue. The woman will just be left with nothing.
That one a big wahala for the woman.
Exactly.
So a woman must have something
doing.
Now, in these days of no job here, no job there, particularly when the woman has gone through school, no job, what is that woman supposed to do?
She can open a shop.
You know that it's not everybody that likes to sit in the shop and do something. Are there other things a woman can do to earn a decent living? That word decent is
yes, decent. If you can't get a job, I know of some women these days, they are into estate management. You can be in your bedroom and you'll be doing your estate business, and your money will be entering your account. There are many ways you can also. For example, if you are a lawyer, you can get briefs from your family, deed from your church members and all of that. There are so many ways you can work even without necessarily going to the office.
Okay, and if you're not a lawyer, what is that woman supposed to do?
Yes, if
is it advisable that after going to school, you now go and learn maybe sewing, catering work and all of that? Because some women will say, I don't go school, I can't do this.
Yes, if she's so pleased, I don't see anything wrong with it. Or what matters is that the income is coming to take care of the children and support your husband. And mind you, some men, they easily get angry when they see that the woman is dependent, the woman is not doing anything. They get angry, but some will not know how to express it. And on the other way, like you said, some will express it through beating the woman, violence and all of that. So they really need their wife to be supporting them. They don't want them to be dependent on them.
Okay. Cool. All right. The program is Woman to Woman on ITV. So if you look at your television set very well, you're going to see our social media handle and, of course, phone numbers to reach us on the program Woman to Woman. You want to participate, you have comments to, you have any contributions at all. Use those platforms on your television set to reach us on the program Woman to Woman. We're talking about being financially independent, the importance of it, and I've been talking to Mrs. Faith Obasuyi, who is also a legal practitioner. She's in practice, so she does a lot of things for money. So, what are you waiting for? Now, let's look at the culture of saving, Faith. Some ladies, like you mentioned, maybe they earn like 100K, like 150K, and then you're buying Peruvian hair of 200K, and then you're buying stuff of over what you earn. Because some men will like sit down to say, what is this woman up to? This is what you earn. This is what you're spending. Is she seeing somebody else? You get what I'm saying? The issue of trust will set in. And some men may not be able to ask, but they become violent towards that woman. And you wonder, you earn this amount, you spend more than you earn. Where does this extra come from? And then if you say, okay, maybe from upkeep money that the husband brings, or maybe you're into one saving or all that, what stops you from saving instead of just squandering that money? What stops women from saving?
Well, I think if you ask me, I think those women, they are, like I said, into competition, trying to please people. To me, all those things are unnecessary. You are spending more than what you earn.
Or unhealthy competition.
Yes, who are you not trying to please? Because for me as a person, I belong to the school of thought whereby you say nothing stops a woman from building an own house so long the husband is in support.
Okay.
You can have your own property.
Of course, a woman has a right to own property. It's for the benefit
of the family. So nothing stops you. So what stops you from saving? So I think such a woman, in fact, I really don't know how to qualify her. Some women
don't qualify her the way you want to.
So some women owe debt more than their salary, buying luxurious things and all of that. Where I think that's not the best, especially when you are a married woman. So you have to save, because if there's what we call contingency. Emergency can just come up and your husband will not have any penny. So as a woman, you should be there to support. And again, there is something I want to also put straight for the men. There are some men, they take it at an advantage. When a woman is spending, the woman is supportive. They will not take it as a right that is the woman that's supposed to do this. No, a woman is only there to support. Don't take it as a right. That's where...
I beg, sound it loud and clear.
So that's where you have men with their attitude problem. When your wife is supporting you, learn to appreciate your wife. Learn to see it as a support, as a helper. Don't see it as a task. Don't see that she's supposed to do this. No, don't.
After all, she's working.
She's working. No, I think there is in place in the Bible that a man should take care of the family. That a man that cannot take care of the family is worse than an infidel. Okay. No matter how small a man earns, take care of your family just the way you earn, the way your strength.
Maybe the man doesn't understand that husband money is sweet.
The way your strength will carry you. Then the woman in return, even if you earn more than your husband, still respect your husband. And and a way that the woman can show that respect is that she should be submissive and be open. Some women are not open. Even if you are not giving your husband your salary, yes. But whatever you do with that salary, even if it's as small as buying pure water, let your husband knows how your salary went. That's when your husband will be at peace with you. Say that you are earning your salary and you are spending it without the consent of your husband. It's very wrong.
Don't you think that, just as you mentioned, if a woman declares what she has, that means the man will not do anything again. No? He will not make any contribution. Rather, he will have plenty to spend, maybe on a side chick or some
some men are like that.
According to my friends, they say some other icky.
Yes, some men are like that. That's where mentality comes in.
Yes.
Honestly, you see our elders, they will be saying that this woman not get character. In another way, there are some men that don't have character. Some men, they have attitude problem.
Yes.
And this is one of the problems, because a woman is spending her money willingly because she have children for you and she loves you and she is your wife. Then you just see it as a right. Then you see it as a right. No, that's very wrong for any man that does that. But again, everything that a woman owns belongs to her husband. So there is no doubt about that. But the man should not see it as a right. That's where I'm still amine on it.
If everything the woman is, financially or otherwise, belongs to the man, so what would the woman do again now? Is it not to agree with everything the man says?
But not to everything. There has to be, in everything, in all of these that we are discussing, exception. There should be a boundary. A woman should have a boundary. Like a woman that knows how to plan her budget very well. Be realistic with your budget. When you say in a month, this is what you are going to part with. This is what is going to be in your account. That is it. No amount of kisses from your husband will make you to go and take from what you are saving. So,
but love is a crazy thing, no.
Yes.
You don't know when the man will press her boom button. She won't know when she will start, when she release that PIN number and all of that.
Yeah, it's true. But again, the woman should have her own mindset. She should know what she's doing, and she should learn to save, no matter how small. That's still the key. She should learn to save. And a man should not take it as an advantage over the woman. Because my wife is I know my wife will always take care of the family. Let her do everything. No. Bring the little you have. Let the woman add to it. And let the family go on. That's the way I see it.
But you know that there are some women, when they buy as little as a box of match, they will write it somewhere. Today, Monday, so day, I bought matchbox, 20 naira. And then when she buys seasoning cube, today, Tuesday, so I bought seasoning cube, 50 naira. She will write everything. And the moment the man steps into the house, she presents the paper. Oh yeah, or give me my money. Is that wrong?
Well, to some extent, it's not so wrong. I don't really see it as wrong, because there are some men, they will say, what are you doing? So like what you just mentioned now might be evidence of what the woman is doing. Okay. Because if you look at it, no matter how big the money your husband gives to you, you must surely add your own. I stand to be corrected. even if it's
No,
5
no,
naira.
no, I feel you. I feel you.
So,
I'm with you on that.
so in that regard, if the woman is keeping the list of everything that she does, I don't see anything wrong with it. But again, the manner in which she presents it to her husband also matters.
Okay.
You will not expect that your husband, after a long day job, just coming to the house and you start giving him lists. You've not served him food for the day. He has not bathed. You've not even asked him how was his day. Then the next thing you are giving, that woman will receive the beating of his life, of her life. So that just the manner in which she presents it matters a lot.
So in conclusion, and because my producer is already signaling me, we're rounding off now. So we want to know your advice to that woman who is out there not doing absolutely nothing, waiting for Oga or waiting for Fia A or waiting for Fia B or for one side man or one the other. No, women too, they have side men.
Yeah.
So what is your advice to that woman?
Well, my advice to that woman is that she should wake up. As far as I'm concerned, all this while she has been sleeping, she should wake up today and embrace the situation of life.
The sleep is enough.
Your husband cannot do everything. As a matter of fact, if you are a woman, you are not doing anything, your husband will not respect you. He will see you as a baby making machine. What he sees you as, he make love to you, wake up, sleep and eat. He doesn't have any value for you. But if you are financially independent as a woman, you acquire skills, you achieve all your goals you want to achieve as a woman, your husband will respect you. You share ideas together. But when you are not doing anything, he just see you as part of his furniture and he looks down on you. So my advice for you today, whether you are educated or not, just look for something to do, no matter how small it is.
And also learn the culture, imbibe the culture of saving for the rainy day, because
and while doing that, be open to your husband.
Yes.
Be very open, no keeping of secrets.
And for the men too, when you're writing that document, when it gets to next of kin, please put your wife. Don't allow this trust issue to be a problem. All right, guys, we'll see you again next week when we'll bring you another edition of the program, Woman to Woman. Bye-bye.